Hey everyone, I'm back. So sorry for missing last week. Y'all, I have been dealing with the worst cold and I had absolutely no voice. So obviously, recording a video without a voice was a little difficult. So I decided to take the week off, but I'm back. And before we talk about week 18, I just want to revisit week 17. Mostly, the final game of week 17 against Buffalo and Cincinnati. And I don't know, we've all heard it, we've all said it, but what happened to Damar Hamlin is absolutely tragic. I've been trying for the last couple days to think of the words to say. And honestly, I can't. I've loved seeing the show of support literally from all 32 teams, from fans of all 32 teams wishing Damar well, seeing the outpouring of support for Damar, and honestly also the support to Damar's charity. I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's one of the reasons why I love this game, is just the camaraderie between fans and most fan bases. Obviously, sometimes Chiefs and Raiders, Eagles, Cowboys, Packers, Vikings can get a little chippy, but at the end of the day, we're all here for the same love, and I love that. I love that about the sport. That being said, again, all my thoughts and well wishes to Damar, the Buffalo Bills organization, and Damar's family and teammates. That being said, I'm going to move on to week 18 for now. So week 18, it's split up between Saturday and Sunday. Now, on Saturday, we're going to kick it off first with the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And y'all, Jarrett Stidham looked very good for the Raiders under center last week against the San Francisco 49ers. The Kansas City Chiefs, it looks like they kind of struggled with the Denver Broncos. I'm not entirely sure. It seems to me like Kansas City lately has kind of been playing down to their opponents. We saw the weekend before Christmas, we saw the struggles against Houston. And then we saw the struggles last week against Denver, who's obviously had a down year. But at the end of the day, Kansas City always finds a way to win. It's the Patrick Mahomes effect, as I would like to call it. And I don't see that changing this week. Kansas City gets the W on Saturday heading into the playoffs. And then we have a winner-take-all match between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The winner of this game gets the AFC South division and that playoff berth. The loser probably is going home. This game here, we have Josh Dobbs, who again looked very good for the Tennessee Titans, versus Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence, he's got that full slate. He's got Travis Etienne in the backfield with him. That wide receiving corps looked very good. The offensive lines look good, but the biggest thing is Trevor has looked amazing. Trevor's finally hitting that first overall pick, that, the next great one that we all thought he would be coming out of Clemson. And I think the time is now for Trevor Lawrence to kind of take over and move these Jaguars into the playoffs. I think that's where they belong. And then we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the division champion Buccaneers, versus the Atlanta Falcons. That's right, Tampa Bay already has it wrapped up, is already going to the playoffs, led by Tom Brady. This game here, if Tampa Bay plays their starters, which honestly I'm not sure if they will, I'm assuming they will for seeding purposes, but if Tampa Bay plays their starters, they've got this W. If they don't, I don't know, it's kind of up in the air. But if Brady, Evans, Godwin, and company are in this game, they've got that W pretty easily, in my personal opinion. Now, that's going to lead us to Sunday. Now, Sunday, we have the New England Patriots, who still have playoff aspirations, going up against the Buffalo Bills. Now, Buffalo it's a big question of where's their mindset at. Honestly, for me, it would be hard to focus on a game with everything going on with Damar Hamlin. In this game, he's more than a teammate. He's a friend. He is family to these guys. But I think, honestly, a team like Buffalo, that's going to make them even stronger, even more determined to get this W for Damar. And I think, honestly, they are going to accomplish that mission. Buffalo Bills get the win here. Now, then we've got the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, have already announced that Justin Fields is not playing in this game. Minnesota already has a spot in the playoffs, so I don't know if they're going to be resting starters. But regardless, I'm giving this one to the Vikings. I think they're the better team. And then we have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Cincinnati's already got that playoff spot secured. Baltimore, I believe they still have a playoff chance. So they're going to be playing, meaningful football here. But very, very similar to Buffalo. I think Cincinnati, coming off of that emotional high from last week, is going to pull together and be even stronger as a team and get a big W here against Baltimore. And then we have Houston and Indy. And y'all, let me tell you, this is going to be a game of two teams trying their best not to win a game of football. The Colts and the Texans both are playing for draft position here. And the Texans probably more so because the Texans want that first overall pick. Pick that quarterback of the future without, losing their guy to someone else. I don't know if it'll be Stroud. I don't know if it'll be Levens. I don't know if it'll be Young. But I think Indianapolis is going to get this W here. This game's probably going to be like a 3-0 game. Because, like I said, both teams are literally going to be trying to lose, in my personal opinion. Now, we've got the New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. Miami has a very talented team. Miami is still vying for playoff position, but Miami is going to be playing without Tua Tagovailoa and without Teddy Bridgewater. So they are going third string city here. But I still think mostly with Tyreek Hill, they're going to get this W. That defense is very talented. Tyreek is very talented. Jalen Waddle is very talented. I think Miami gets the W here. Carolina versus New Orleans. We've got two coaches who are fighting for their jobs. And Steve Wilks and Dennis Allen. Of course, Steve Wilks is carrying that interim title. But the Carolina Panthers have looked so much better under his steed. That being said, Dennis Allen has a very, very talented Saints team that's just underperformed, and he's going to be going to prove that he can be a good head coach, and he can be a good head coach for the Saints. I still think at the end of the day, Dennis Allen is going to be done as head coach of the Saints, but I have the Saints getting the W here. And then I've got the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the big story in this game, for me, is Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. And for as long as Mike Tomlin has been a head coach, that is astronomical. That being said, this game here is going to decide if that streak continues. They're currently at 500. If they win, that streak continues. If they lose, obviously it's over. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. I cannot say enough good things about Mike Tomlin. I thought for sure Pittsburgh was going to be picking in the top 5 this year, at least top 10. And Mike Tomlin has them very respectable with a 500 record and even a chance to make the playoffs. But this game here, I'm going to give it to the Cleveland Browns. Again, that is nothing against Mike Tomlin. It's just how I see it going down. And then we have the LA Chargers versus the Denver Broncos. Now, the LA Chargers are going to the playoffs. Denver, Denver is already eliminated, obviously has underperformed, and is looking like a team that's going to have a top 5 pick that went to the Seahawks in the Wilson trade. Obviously, it's been a bad year for Denver. I will say Denver did look a lot better last week. Now, was that just Kansas City kind of overlooking them? Or was that Denver looking a lot better with Nathaniel Hackett out of the picture? A lot of those questions are going to be answered this week. But in this game, I've got the LA Chargers getting the W here. Then we have the Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers. Excuse me. Now, Arizona is going to be playing without Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray has I think it was an ACL tear, and probably is not even going to be ready for the start of next season, according to Coach Cliff Kingsbury. On top of that, they are also without backup Colt McCoy, so they're going to be starting David Blau. David Blau he started the season in Detroit on the practice squad, went to the Minnesota Vikings practice squad, and now is starting for the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers, they can kind of empathize with that. They started the season with Trey Lance. They lost Trey Lance, moved on to Jimmy Garoppolo, who also was lost to the season. And we have Iowa State's own Brock Purdy playing for the 49ers. Now, that being said, you look at the Cardinals, you look at the 49ers, both playing their third or fourth string QB at this point, and the 49ers are just the better team. The 49ers, they have CMC, they have Deebo Samuel, although I don't think Deebo's playing in this game. They have George Kittle, they have that stud offensive line, they've got Nick Bosa on the defensive line, they're just the better team. So for that reason, 49ers get the W pretty big here in my opinion. Then we have the Rams and the Seahawks. Obviously, the Seahawks need to win this game to keep their playoff hopes alive. Geno Smith has looked absolutely amazing, making his way to the Pro Bowl. Kenneth Walker looks like a Rookie of the Year candidate, probably the most likely contender for the Rookie of the Year award. Over on the other side of the ball, you have the Rams, who are just absolutely riddled with injuries. Cooper Kupp, not playing in this game. Matt Stafford doesn't sound like he'll be there. Just injury upon injury upon injury for the LA Rams. But the Rams do still have Bobby Wagner. They do still have Jalen Ramsey. I don't know if they're going to have Aaron Donald. But they also have, that head coach. They also have Sean McVay on the sidelines. So this game here, I honestly think this game here is going to be closer than we expect it to be. But I'm going to give this game to the Seattle Seahawks. I think with Geno Smith, with what they're doing there, I think they're going to get that W. Then we have Dallas versus Washington. With Dallas already has that playoff spot secure. I'm not sure if they're going to be resting players or if they're going to go full throttle, but they're going to be going up against the Washington Commanders, who are not starting Carson Wentz, who are not starting Taylor Heineke. We are starting third-string quarterback, rookie Sam Howell. Now, if Dallas is going full throttle, that's a tall ask for a rookie to be going up against Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons. This game here, if Dallas goes full throttle, this game here is going to get ugly very, very, very fast. And the Dallas Cowboys are going to get that W. And then Sunday night football. We have got the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, y'all, this game here is going to be in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. Jared Goff, quarterback of the Detroit Lions, has performed very, very well this year, much better than I expected. However, his statistics at Ford Field and away from Ford Field are very, 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 very different. At Ford Field, he is a top 10 quarterback. Away from Ford Field, more like top 20. Not bad, but not as good as if he was at Ford Field. That being said, Jared Goff also historically has struggled in the cold. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers thrives in the cold, especially late in the season. This game here, if Green Bay wins the game, they're in the playoffs. And I will tell you, I, for one, don't want to see that happen. Rachel, don't you have a friend that plays on the Packers? Yes, I do. But I still don't want to see it happen. I do not want Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. I do. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on us. However, in this game, if you're asking my opinion, my prediction, I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. Y'all, it's been fun. I'm currently 155 wins to 97 losses. That's a win-loss record of 61.5. It's week 18. Let's see how it goes. But regardless, we're carrying this thing to the Super Bowl. We are going to keep this thing going. Week by week analysis. So, I'm signing off. As I'm signing off one more time, just thoughts and prayers for Damar Hamlin, the Buffalo Bills, Damar's family, and everyone involved in that situation, T. Higgins included. That being said, I love you all. I will talk to you all very soon. I'm going to go rest this voice because I can hear it fading already. And again, I love you. Goodbye.